Wrap up brought to you by FHT Sports. Hope everybody's doing well. It's Friday evening. During the course of this vlog, we're going to talk and try to get some updates on the Fresno Monsters. As you know, they're playing the Valencia Flyers at Selland Arena. After tonight, there's only one game left at Selland Arena this year, and that's tomorrow night. So make sure you get out there. Right now, Fresno leads 5-3, probably a comfortable lead. As long as there are no penalties and put Valencia in a power play position, hopefully that will not be the case. We'll keep you abreast of what goes on. So let's move on. Let's talk about tonight's topic. And again, if people chime in with some questions about other things, we'll definitely look at that as well. What happened to boxing? What happened to boxing? There was a scorched earth mentality that killed boxing. Now you may say, wait a minute, Darren, you sound like the old guy, or I don't sound relevant anymore when I say boxing's dead. You're getting more money than ever from people, and there's more money being made hand over fist. Purses are larger than ever. More people buying pay-per-view. You're stupid. Well, I put out a question, and that was, who is the WBA Heavyweight Champion? Easy question. Easy question. If you didn't Google it and you're not a big boxing fanatic, I love boxing. Absolutely love it. Used to love to box as a kid. We'd box, no ring. We'd put on Gonna Fly Now, the theme song from Rocky, and we'd just pound the hell out of each other while the song was on, and that was each round because it was close enough to 3-minute rounds. And then the kids who were watching would decide, who would win. And we would do this in the driveway on East 51st Street in Brooklyn, and it was great stuff. Grew up where even people who were not fans of boxing would watch boxing or knew who the heavyweight champion was. Who didn't know that Muhammad Ali was the heavyweight champion of the world? Not the WBO, IBF, MOUSC, WBA, who knows what, MAP Productions. Now you're going to say, wait a minute, he was a social icon. He was an activist. He's different. Oh yeah? You could look at like the 6th ranked boxer in the 70s, 80s. Now look, guy like Ernie Shavers, Ken Norton. These guys could rock. Much less Joe Frazier and George Foreman. Ron Lyle. You go down the list. Larry Holmes, when he was champion, after that horrible, disgusting, bad mustache on Muhammad Ali fight against Trevor Burbick. I hated Larry Holmes, but I respected him. Remember one time he was fighting Ronaldo Snipes, and they got into a fist fight, or at least he jumped and created an altercation during an interview. And one thing he would do well, I don't care if he always said no, he'd be able to throw that jab and stick that thumb out at the same time. Stick that thumb out. Well, have you Googled? Have you looked up Anthony Joshua's name yet? WBA Heavyweight Champion and IBF? Or did you look up Deontay Wilder, the WBC Heavyweight Champion? The Bronze Bomber. I bet you didn't know his nickname, did you? Oh, I did. I watch boxing. Me and all my friends. Yeah, and you have a smaller and smaller section of people who pay more and more money. So it becomes the haves and the have-nots. The kids today, the younger people watching MMA, but MMA is going to send boxing to baseball. Some other sports too. My friends who follow hockey at a deep level, or really any sport. Boxing was generational. Boxing was a way in and out of society. If you knew how to throw your fists, you could fight. That's gone now, in a large extent. You would sit and have dinner, Sunday dinner, in Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Chicago. Doesn't matter. Didn't matter what you did all day. You sat down, more often than not, you started to talk about the upcoming fight, boxing, all the different weight classes. Not anymore. You know, people talk about the fact that more and more people aren't going to baseball, which factually may or may not be true, but the game is actually better than ever, you know, as good as ever in a lot of ways, except for that overshift we wanted to talk about. But you would take random kids and ask them who the heavyweight champion was, they'll tell you. They knew who Roberto Duran was, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sweet Pea Whitaker. And then they're being told that somebody, who just stands there for 12 rounds, because God forbid they fight for 15 now, because somehow they didn't care about people back then. They didn't care about people back then, but now all of a sudden they do. A lot of matches are just 10 rounds. But the thing that scorched earth was pay-per-view. Now, I'm not saying that it should be free. I'm a capitalist, make your money. But when kids can't put on CBS Sports Spectacular, ABC's Wild World of Sports, and see a good fight, even if Sugar Ray Leonard was fighting a tomato can, you get to watch. Now again, times have changed, but I remember when I was in high school, one of the things I did every single day that I cut school, I would go walk from Bedford Avenue, walk a couple of blocks to Kings Highway. And there was this wonderful diner called Minerva's. And I'd go in there, and I would do this during my tennis class I was cutting. Because you had to take a gym, right? You had to take a gym. And not that we played all the time, but you had to, like the teacher, I forget his name, I think Mr. Thorne, I don't remember. It was like, don't die, just see you later. Because it was winter time. Well, you're not going to play tennis in a Parker. Go get a breakfast. Come back in an hour. Part of what I would do is, as the older gentleman would read the racing forms, I would read Ring Magazine. Tell me about the upcoming fights, who the fighters are right now, where were they ranked, where did they move. Talk about the old fighters. Great stuff. It's gone and buried, dead and buried. It has nothing to do with the advent of new media. It has to do with the fact that the matches start at midnight. You get sued if you say, let's get ready to rumble. I'm not even saying. And that these people come out, there's no interaction with the crowd. Now, I'm not talking about philanthropic kind of things that a boxer would do. God bless. But I think you understand what I'm saying. There's no interaction with the public. See, here's the thing. You're not looking to make boxing fans as much as you're making people who make boxing part of their life. Not every day. But let me ask you this. When was the last time somebody said to you, Darren, I can't wait to that Anthony Joshua fight. I mean, the heavyweights are the heavyweights. Even as far back as the Klitschko brothers, people hated because they weren't on a lot. They were two brothers who had PhDs and won a lot. Boring. Lennox Lewis was never really treated with the respect he deserved. Lennox Lewis can rock. Darren, you know what? You're just talking about the heavy. Well, yes, the paradigm has shifted. Really shifted. Sugar Ray Robinson was the best ever of any weight class, in my opinion. Because he can knock you out, he can outlast you. And those people fought. He fought, what's his name, Jake LaMotta 6 different times in like 3 hours. No, like in less than a year. Or whatever it was. If I'm exaggerating, a little bit. Not anymore. These guys fight every year and a half. It's on pay-per-view. You can't find it at $85. God, remember the old days like you'd see in the movies? You sound like the old guy. No, I sound like a guy just talking. I worked in a wonderful bars and nightclubs when I was in my 20s and mid-30s. And these places were great. You have firemen and police officers, and again, thank you for your service. And people come in and music and drinks, and wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great if you can just put the game on there, put the boxing match on there? Oh yeah, if they pay a couple of $1,000, they certainly can. But you know what? Why don't you even have a lottery or something that says, hey, you email this or you share this, top 100, establishments that we can verify as a tavern, free. Fight is free. So people get interested in the matches. Instead, you have I'm going to just assume they have all the right reasons in mind, who tell you why boxing should be banned, which is just pathetic to me. Because you start banning boxing, again, watch what people are doing, stop the fight when they're disoriented, all that, get it. But teaching a kid how to protect themselves? Let me tell you something. My dad loved boxing. I never met my grandfather, but I have a feeling he loved boxing. I grew up loving boxing. And even though I was a skinny kid with this big old head, I looked like Pez. I was walking Pez. Walking Pez. I could throw a left. I'd fight righty, but I could throw a left when it was business. And just hitting the body, And because you're looking for the head, no. They could cover up. You hit that body, those arms come down, he gives me a kill shot. I could throw from an early age. And as a bouncer later in life, let me tell you, people say, "Oh, you professionally trained?" No, I boxed. Get in, get low. You have short arm reach, get in. I was an amateur boxing judge in California for a short period of time. Loved it. Wanted to do it again. I reached out to a good friend. Guy had a wonderful show. Man, Pete, you know who you are. Coach Pete. You are the boxing, I don't know what you want to call it, the patriarch of boxing, the preacher of boxing. You know more than most people that I know. We need to get you vlogging soon, Coach Pete. Anyway, so what's going on with boxing these days? It's boring. And you don't become unboring by light shows and this and that. Mike Tyson knew what he was doing. He would come in with no socks on, and he'd just come in and he was beautiful to watch until things happen. And it happens. It happens. We had a guy grown up from us. I went to school with his brother, Vito Anafermo's brother. He fought a draw. A lot of people thought it wasn't a draw, with Marvin Hagler. And these guys were just throwing. Remember the time Larry Holmes fought Randall Tex Cobb? I think it was Randall Tex Cobb. And, Randall Tex Cobb, I believe it was him. I'm going to give him the credit for it. He had no business being in the ring with Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes just outschooled him and just did everything. But Randy Cobb was like a lot of these people that you see in boxing back then. Not just the fact that he'd take a beating, but Larry Holmes has one of the greatest post-fight interviews. He just butchered Randy Cobb and Randy Tex Cobb. And they asked Larry Holmes, it looked like Randall Tex Cobb said something to you after the match. What was it? And I'm paraphrasing. Larry Holmes said, "What the freaking guy said to me? He goes, hey, nice fight, let's get a beer." These were the guys back then. You had guys, like I mentioned, Ernie Shavers, one of my favorites. Great, like 6th or 7th or 8th. Though I think he and Ken Norton both beat Muhammad Ali. And I love Muhammad Ali, one of my favorites of all time. That's what we had back then. But now you have Deontay, the Bronze Bomber, not the Brown Bomber. That's Joe Louis. Why would you pick a name like Bronze Bomber? Why would you do that? It's too close to the Brown Bomber. Who came up with that? Well, you in the car on the way to the match? He said, I need a nickname. So Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder aren't really floating your boat right now? Boxing, you're in trouble. Now, before everybody, and I mentioned MMA, talks about how great MMA is, be careful. I like MMA. But it's creating making a lot of money. There are a lot of people with big old wallets, a lot bigger than mine. Be careful. If you want longevity, like hockey has, which has a big niche market, basketball has, worldwide football, soccer, American football, and of course baseball. Think once now their children will want to watch your sport and come together where you can have a 70-year-old man or woman with a 50-year-old woman or man with a 35-year-old and a 5-year-old all watching the same fight. I remember like it was yesterday. It's a terrible thing that happened. But I remember it was on CBS Sports Spectacular. Ray Boom Boom Mancini against Duk Koo Kim. Duk Koo Kim was never knocked down. One of the most courageous fights I've ever seen. And he died in the ring. And I was watching that fight, eating pasta, Italian bread, with my mother. And she had a family member who was the manager and trainer, Patty DeMarco. Throwing some names out there, right? But this was the thing. Woman or man, multi-generational. You had you had your favorite fighters. Guys like Mike Rossman. It just was wonderful. You know, and Rocky Marciano, of course. You know, Archie Moore, Floyd Patterson. I mean, a man with unbelievable class. Emmanuel Stewart. Now there's some Roy Jones now, right? I mean, I'm not a Roy Jones fan, but I respect the heck out of him. Roy Jones is one of these guys, not because he gets his ass kicked. No, don't go there. It's not what I'm saying. I would love to see Roy Jones fight in the 60s and the 70s and the 50s. The guys that literally had a fight to earn next month's rent. Would he be able to fight in that same style? I don't know. But I do know this, I love boxing. And right now it's dead. It's dead. Most people would have to Google Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Much less, cruiserweights and whatnot. You used to know, right? Sugar Ray Leonard coming back, fighting Donnie Lalonde, get rid of that guy. That guy was horrible. I was so happy. I was cheering when Sugar Ray Leonard, who's my guy. I remember watching him in 1976 in the Olympics. I said, this is the most dynamic fighter since Muhammad Ali. Well, they're both fighting concurrently at that time, but I think you know what I mean. He was like the next great thing. Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard kind of thing. They're going up in weight class to fight Dan Lalonde, or they're going down a weight class. Wilfredo Benitez had some great champions. I mean, and different fighters from different areas of the world. You're like, oh, what's that like? I fell in love with Mexico because watching some of these fighters I never heard of before. You get ring lines in a sec. They're from this part of Mexico, and you look it up. And I've been to Mexico, I don't know, 8, 10, 12 times, somewhere in there. And it's funny, first couple of times I got there, I thought like the boxers, doing road work. Like, what are they doing? Boxing's just a great sport. But when you shove it at 12 o'clock at night, and they're coming out, and it's not about boxing. It's not about trying to rip the other person's head off, and then respecting them after the fact. It's a sad sport. People get hurt. People die. People get treated like bait, like Joe Louis, who Rocky Marciano and Joe Louis are at the pinnacle of Darren Redmond's best fighters of all time. Because you fight who you fight. Yes. Will most of the people Marciano fought over the hill? Yes. But he was 185 pounds if you put potatoes in his pocket. But even the harshest critic back then said the man hit like nobody's business. And Joe Louis, it gets me emotional. The brown bomber, not the bronze bomber like Deontay Wilder. He was the greatest of all time. And you know what? This country never really respected him. He got taken advantage of. He fought and served for our country, came back, owed taxes, and never got out of that hole. Never got out of that hole. But the man's a legend. You know that name, right? You know George Foreman. Love what George Foreman did. Right on the goodnight button. Bam. You knew those names. You don't know these people now. Quick thing about MMA before I sound like an MMA hater. When your whole sport and its popularity is built on 2 or 3 people, and you rotate 1 or 2 of those people, be careful. It's funny. I was watching some of the talking heads this morning. Again, yes, I want, like, yes, Darren wants to be a talking head as well. I just want to give my opinion. And I saw that MMA is on ESPN Plus. Now that might be a step in the right direction, and I think it is, and I think that's great. You need to make it available to the masses, but hold the horses because it's on ESPN. So's cornhole. Cornhole on the weekend is on ESPN. So let's just take a few steps back. I think it's great it's on ESPN Plus. Put it on ESPN 2 free. Once a month, put some, maybe not the greatest fighters in the world, put the up and comers on free streaming. Free streaming. You need to sign up. Here's your email address. Free streaming. Thank you. Wish I could speak. A little free streaming. Why not? But instead, you got to pay to play. And again, I know the bottom line is the money, right? But is it really? You're scorching the earth. What you're doing right now is you're chopping down all the trees and you're not replanting any. You're pulling all the coal from the ground. No more to be found. You have Johnny Appleseed. Right? Plant a few things. Where's the next generation coming from? It's funny. People love saying that about baseball. A sport I love as well. Baseball's alive and well. Alive and well. So's hockey, so's football. Boxing, you're in trouble. Tennis is in a lot of trouble. Tennis and boxing, I find, are the 2 sports in America that are in the most critical care. Williams, Serena Williams, I wish I could speak tonight, is a once-in-a-lifetime athlete. I think she's the GOAT of any sport. Serena, thank you. I want to say Selena. Serena Williams, thank you. I think she's the GOAT. But what's coming next? Sharapova? I mean, she's having a nice, she's ranked 30th at the Australia Open right now. She had a nice upset win over the number 3. But she'll be stained forever for PEDs, though she denies it. We can get into that another time. But there was a time, right, when McEnroe and Borg, Orozco Tanner, who had the big hard serve, you had Chrissy Everett, Martina Navratilova, Tracy Austin, Monica Seles, Marina Hingis. The list goes on. And you had the younger ones coming up. Next generation was Jennifer Capriati's and nothing. Tennis, you're in trouble. Boxing, you're past trouble. You're dead. It used to be where a heavyweight champion would show up, get the key to the city. Now, who? What? Huh? Oh, you on TV? Oh, really? And again, no disrespect to the fighters. The disrespect goes to the promoters and to the people who handle boxing. You're not thinking long term. You're doing a money grab. You're chopping those trees down. Chopping them down. Let's go. Chop those trees down. Dig that coal out of the ground. Overfish the bay. You're getting all that money now. But where are you getting from? Smaller and smaller. Darren, it's not true. You're an idiot. You forgot Serena's name. And the truth is that more people, it doesn't matter that more people are watching. You're not growing the sport. Well, how can that be? It can be one or the other. No, let me explain to you. I'll talk slow. You might have a niche And more people from that niche are watching. But you're not increasing the number of people in that niche. Now, if you know anything about marketing, anything at all, you can take notes if you want. But private message me. People die, they move away, and they change habits. You're overfishing when it comes to boxing. I live near a wonderful, wonderful arena that, I look at it and I'm like, wow, this place should be sold out, having boxing every 2-3 months. They have boxing there, not sold out. Should be. People will come back in droves. Now, I know 15-round fights are gone. And while I disagree with it, I accept it. Not that it needs to pass my test. But these kids, and today, adults, they don't know who these people are. Who's fighting? If it isn't like, Roy Jones or Conor McGregor, nobody cares. Are you kidding me? Nobody cares who the heavyweight champion is? Well, you have 74 different champions to begin with. In August, there was an intern champion in the WBA, and then the regular champion, and then the IBF. I remember back in the day when Jerry Cooney fought Ken Norton, the Matt Productions did that. WBC, you got Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber. It's a shame how boxing is dead. But let's hope it makes like Lazarus and rises from the dead. That would be pretty neat if that can happen. And let's hope so, because like I said, I'm a big boxing fan. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts. Boxing has been a big part of American history. It was a place where immigrants and people of all races can come and compete at the highest level and be known as the champion of the world. Bring on all comers. And now there are champions of the world who nobody knows. If this is the information age, why don't you know who these people are? Boxing. You're committing suicide. Make like Lazarus and rise from the dead. This is Darren Redmond from FHT Sports Redmond Wrap-Up. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, share. Let me know your thoughts. Let's take a look together. We have a final score of the Monsters. We have a win. Excellent. 6-3 final. We talked about this last night, didn't we? We said this is a trap game. This is a game. It was such a big momentum game last night against Long Beach that you could not give it back by losing to a far inferior team that is Valencia. And that's what the Monsters made sure did not happen. So, you had third star of the night was the captain, Dangala. Back in action tonight was the second star, Beckman. And the first star tonight was Scott. I am sure the hockey guru, Serge Bogosian, will give you some details as to what happened. Please keep watching. We're growing exponentially. I like that word, exponentially. I like late night coffee. Most of all, I like sharing with you the Fresno-based and now nationally based fan base that we're growing here at FHT Sports. I want to talk again about these flash drives. $30, $5 of each purchase going directly to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Fresno County. On here, 10 minutes of hilarious footage from the movie that we wrote, produced, and directed about the history of hockey in Fresno. Sold out, audience, same night of the Fresno Hockey Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. We have all those induction ceremonies on there as well. It's there for you to get. And I'm going to get more information for you about the upcoming Al Geller Memorial Tournament, golf tournament, with all the old green and gold Fresno Falcons, and some blue and white ones there as well. We're going to have some of the Hockey Hall of Famers. Talking to Fresno Hockey Hall of Famer Darryl Lauer today, and he looks forward to getting about 300 people at that golf outing. You have any questions about it, how to get it, how to get information to it, whatever the case may be. We'll make sure I have the number here. Here's the number. If you have any questions about how to get your hands on this movie right here, $30, or how to get yourself, I think it's May 31st, great day, right around Memorial Day, playing a beautiful golf course, wonderful dinner, a snack beforehand. FHD Sports will be there. Look forward to shaking your hand. You see some of the legends. We will have Fresno Hockey Hall of Fame legends there. We will have Fresno Falcons green and gold, blue and white. Talk to each other, take some pictures. Very casual, a lot of fun. Give me a call. First off, if you want to go to PayPal for this, just go to PayPal at FresnoHockeyTalk@gmail.com. Want to give me a phone call? Please call me 559-270-4291. Excuse me, I just gave you the wrong number. It's 559-997-6104. Sorry, I changed the number. It is 559-997-6104. Great to talk to you. I'll let you know how you can get golf tickets for the around Memorial Day, Al Gello Memorial for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Fresno County, and how to get your hands on this baby. Well, not this one, because this one's mine. The Hockey Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. You saw the Cipolla brothers, Reno and Esco. You saw Jay Johnson. And by the way, happy birthday, Jay Johnson. Bird's birthday today. The dinner napkin story will never die. The birth of the monsters happened on a bar napkin. Not even a dinner napkin, a bar napkin. Does that make sense? Hockey sense, right? We have Glenn Hines, Hockey Hall of Famer, and Darryl Lauer, Hockey Hall of Famer. What can we say? You need to come. This movie is unbelievable. Then we also have the History of Hockey in Fresno movie with some amazing footage that hasn't been seen in decades. Did you know they played hockey here in 1948? No, you did not. I bet you more people knew that than knew that Anthony Joshua is the WBA Heavyweight Champion. Look, see what I did? I just tied all that together because that's what I do. On Redmond's Wrap Up. It used to be the Fresno Aces, and then they became the Fresno Falcons, and the Fresno Aces, then back to the Falcons, and then the Fighting Falcons, and then back to the Falcons, and the Falcons disbanded while they were in first place, and then birthday boy Jay Johnson and a couple of really well-meaning people got together, put together the Fresno Monsters, and here we are today with the team coached by Killer Kaminsky that just kicked ass on Valencia after kicking ass on Long Beach. Oh, by the way, that brings up another thing. We're off on the numbers by a little bit, but the Ron White watch is now a day around 44 when we put emails out asking for an interview just to talk about some of the things we talked about last night, about running a league, owning a team, having your son as the coach of that team. So just have some questions. Again, not being passive aggressive, but just have to say it. If there's no, twisted evil mustache kind of thing. Just have some questions. That's all. All right, around day 44 could be a little less, but we'll pick. You know what? We'll pick 44. All right, we're on day about 44. We haven't heard anything yet, so let's see what happens there. Again, boxing, love it. Love it, absolutely love it. And I want to see it come back. I want to see that girl or boy on a Saturday afternoon after going to whatever sporting event they played outside and hung out with their friends. And I have no problem with video games, by the way. We'll talk about that. And then, like 2 in the afternoon, they have putting the TV on, or going to a live stream, or going on their phone and just watching the fight. Yeah, this is so-and-so. He's from Piscataway, New Jersey. And he's fighting this person from wherever. In Mazatlan. And if and whoever wins this is set up to fight for those days, they can come back very simply if boxing let them. Instead of the scorched earth, getting more and more money out of fewer and fewer people, even though, again, more people are watching, but the demographic is smaller and smaller. That's a concept that's a lot easier to understand if you just kind of think for a minute and not look to respond as much as just absorb what people are saying. So, what do you think? Darren Redmond on FHT Sports for Redmond's wrap-up. This was a great... Can you tell about boxing? And the Monsters won. We love that. This is Darren Redmond for Redmond's wrap-up, brought to you by FHT Sports. Like, subscribe, share. What do you think? Good night.